Hey everybody, welcome to Marriage Moment. This is the last one of this series that we're going to go through. I'm Jason, this is Renee. We've been married forever. We are not marriage counselors or marriage experts, but we do really love marriage. We love being married, and we love helping other people realize their potential in marriage and having great marriages. And the way you do that is you build it on the principles of the person who invented marriage. And that's our Savior. And he has a lot of good things to say about marriage. And if you follow his principles, your marriage will be better, 100%. So to that end, we, for the last several months now, have been reading these two books. And then we've been giving you kind of a summary on these videos with the hope that we would just give you a taste and then you would go buy these and dig in deep. And some of you have done that, and I bet you've been blessed by that. So this is for men only, and it's for the men to understand their ladies. And today is the last chapter of For Women Only, and it's a pretty intriguing title. It says it's the one thing that your man wishes you knew. So if you're married and you're a lady, according to the scientific research, there's one thing that stood out above all the others. She asked this open-ended question. What's the one thing you wish your wife knew? Before we get there, we're done with these books. And we're thinking about what's coming up next. And we would really be helped if you would give us some input. If you could comment on this video with the direction we could go, what kind of things we need to talk about to help you with your marriage, marriage in general. Just your thoughts would be super, super helpful as we prepare for the next season of these videos and helping you. So please take a moment and comment down there. And if you're not a subscriber, 50% of you who watch this are not subscribers. It would really, really help us if you would just push the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. It just helps. Anyway, back to this book.
Before you get started on that, just to say, we read these books when they first came out.
Which was like 15 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a long time. So like a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I remember that it really made an impact on our marriage. And now that I can look back, now that we've read them again and they've added some of the extra stuff, these books just have had a huge impact on our marriage. And so that's why we wanted to share them with everybody, because we want that for everybody that's married. And the other thing is, we decided a long time ago that we were going to work hard to make our marriage great. And part of that is
to be intentional about that, not just kind of back into it and hope you have a great marriage, but to spend time and energy and thought into intentionally doing things that would improve our marriage.
Yeah, because it's so important to us. It's so valuable. So it's not like these books fell in our lap.
No.
We went and looked, and we wanted to read, and I love to read and study about things and learn something to do better. So we found these, and that's part of marriage, that you have to work and study and know and understand, and it makes such a difference, doesn't it?
It really does. And I think we've said this a lot, but it's worth saying again. One, your marriage is your most important possession. It's more important than anything you've got. And two, nobody's ever had a great marriage accidentally. No. You don't back into it. It doesn't happen on accident. You have to make it happen.
Yeah.
Put in the work. So, what's the one thing that your man wishes you knew about him?
So, men have a hard time talking and explaining themselves to their women.
Yes, we're not too much in touch with our feelers, and we don't use as much word as you use.
Yes, no matter how much time we spend together and how well we think we know each other and how well we communicate, it's still just hard. It's hard for you to just explain yourself, like deep, deep thoughts.
Yes.
So that's why she wanted to put this question in the survey. And it was an open-ended question, so they could answer anything.
Any way they wanted to.
Yeah, and she was kind of shocked.
She was very shocked.
Yeah.
At the majority of the responses.
Yeah.
Huge majority.
Yeah, so she lists a few of the different percentages of different answers, and some of them are things that you would expect. But the one she was just shocked about was how often it came up that a man wishes the one thing his wife knew was how much he loves her. And
pretty profound.
Yeah, there were several answers that she actually gave, the answers that the men
The specific
wrote in,
responses.
the specific
Yeah.
things. And she was kind of shocked at that. So as I was reading this, before we go to that next little section that she put in the end of the book, I wondered, because I thought about how much it's changed for me, if women understood how deeply their husband loved them, if they knew that without a doubt and could be confident in that, what would change in their marriage?
Do you think ladies struggle with that? Is that something that you as women will always struggle with? That certainty that your man loves you? Is that something always written into marriage?
Maybe not everybody deals with that, but for me personally, when we read these books several years ago, and I can look back now over years that you've intentionally done things, said things, just the things that you have done over these last several years to make sure that I know that you love me so deeply. It has, because of my background of my father leaving, their marriage dissolving after I went to college, I had that real deep fear of abandonment and that you were going to take off if I wasn't super lovable. That was just in my mind. And so for me, knowing this without a doubt after we read this and seeing some of the things that you've done over the years to help me understand that and know it without a doubt, it changed a lot for me. It meant that I could be confident and be me, and it's helped me to be more comfortable in my own skin, like we talked about last week, and not feel like I have to be so perfect like I used to feel a lot of the time. Like if I didn't stay a certain way, I felt like you would have a reason to leave. And it was a huge fear for me. So I think there's probably a percentage of women, maybe not every woman, but a percentage that there's something in the past or some relationship in the past that causes a deep fear for a woman in this area. And so it's just interesting to think about that.
Yeah.
You know, that what would change if you really knew that. And if you listen to this and you read this in the book and you understand there's a really high percentage of men, that's how they answer. So there's a pretty big chance that your husband in your marriage, that would be how he would answer.
For
too.
sure. And I think it's sad that we struggle to express that.
Yeah.
You know, I think maybe we get caught up in the shortcomings that we see, or maybe we just get busy, or maybe we just don't think about it. But it's a sad thing that the one thing men wish that their wives knew was how much they loved them. Well, I kind of feel like we as men have a lot of control over that.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like we can't express it. It's maybe just that we don't figure out a way to do it. And I think that falls on us guys, is if we want our ladies to know that, we have to figure out a way to tell them,
Yes,
because it sets them free.
it does.
It sets you free when you know that.
Yeah, and it's not just so men can have an idea. It's not just that when you tell us, it's little things that you do, helping out, wanting to be helpful, knowing what I like, and then doing some of those things. If you know something that I love from Starbucks and you get that for me when you go and surprise me, or just something, little things like that really add up, that make me know that you know me and you love to do things for me. That just seals the whole thing.
Interesting.
Yeah. So she sums up the end of this chapter, which is the end of the book, with 2 realizations that she wants women to walk away with.
2 big things.
2 big things.
For ladies.
Yes, for the women. To just let that sink into your heart, ladies, that how much your man loves you. Whether they show you, whether they say it, they love you very much. So let that sink in. And then the second one, and I think this is definitely the bottom line on this one and the whole book, is how much power God has given a woman in a man's life. When you are the wife, you have so much power, and it's given by God. When you are loving your husband and being this godly wife, you help him to be the man that God has created him to be. When you're not being that, it goes the other way. You are tearing him down. And we alone are the one that holds that power.
Yep.
That is a very sobering thought to me, that I have such an impact in your life, good and bad. And so that's a good place to end that book.
That's it. That's the end. Bye.
See you later.